First question. Who do you think I am? That's the question, and make sure to press the answer in your website and not on Zoom. Am I an Avenger? Am I SpongeBob from SpongeBob SquarePants? I mean, I don't mind being Flash. 6 answers already. 7. I mean, I love you guys who told me that I'm Flash. I totally love you guys, but no, I am an alumni. I mean, if that were possible, I would love to be Flash. So, next question. Shitab, you are lacking behind. But I like the scores. Double points. Double points. Don't overthink this. What am I doing currently? Am I fighting the Akatsuki for the hidden Konoha village? Or am I going to take down the world right now? Yes, I am studying and working at the same time. I would love to fight the Akatsuki, but I also have a few favorites from Akatsuki. So uh, if you like Akatsuki, then you can knock me. Wow, Shita, that's really nice. You just jumped to the first place. Adiba third place, Saba fourth. And I really don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Ishtiak fifth place. Next question, guys. How many steps did I complete to get to my current job role? Don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. 6 is the correct answer. No, I didn't sit for 2 because, and no, I didn't sit for 5. 5 would have been like a more normal number, but it was 6. And I'll tell you what, when I applied to Invisible, I actually applied to a different project. I cannot name any of the projects that I'm working on right now, but I can tell you this, that I did apply to a project and they have a few steps. So when you apply, every time you apply, you have to sit for an American English exam. Like you have to like literally sit for an English proficiency test. And then you are given a task, which is like an assessment that is through an email. If you like pass that English proficiency test and then check your internet connection and as well as your processor and everything about your operating system, that is your whole laptop and your whole device. So that was the first process. And then the second process was they sent me an assessment to complete based on the tasks that I will be doing in my job. But they didn't have vacancy in that project, but they had a new project coming up. So they reached out to me to go and do the test again because the client's requirements are different. So again, I had to sit for that English proficiency test as well as I had to sit for the exam, a new exam. So that sums up to 2. Then comes your interview. My interview was directly with the senior operation manager. And then lastly, when you are onboarded as an employee, actually the like Invisible is completely virtual. So there's no employee. It's like everyone is an agent. So it's always remote working. So when I was onboarded over there as a as someone from the company, I had to go through a certification period of like 15 days. So everyone has to go through that certification period. Even if you pass all the interviews, you will like you pass through the exams, you go through the interview, you still have to go through the certification process, which means that the tasks you do would be would be analyzed based on quality, and as well as you will have an average handling time, which means if you are working 4 hours, how many tasks do you do in 4 hours, depending on the proximity of how much do we need to stress on the quality of the project, like quality of the tasks that we are doing. So mine was 6, including that certification period. Oh, Fuad rising up, Shitab 1 place down. And Fuad has the highest number of answer streaks. That's cool. Let's go to the next one. Don't overthink this one. Don't overthink this one. One more, one more. And we are done. Okay. No, I did not enroll into Master of Data Science. It is true that I enrolled into Master of Business Analytics, but so there is a difference over here in Australia. So unlike that in the US, they assess your university a lot. So no, I did not apply to Master of Business Information Systems at all. I did apply to Master of Data Science at La Trobe, but I was sent an email by La Trobe that you are more suitable for Master of Business Analytics. So why don't you try that? And when I did, I was already enrolled into Master of Business Analytics. I got my visa. I came here, and then I thought, hey, let me do one thing. Let me appeal to the university that I really want to study Master of Data Science, which I previously applied for, but I was encouraged to apply to a different program. And this one comes from like regional offices a lot. For Bangladesh, the regional office is usually in India. So that email was from the regional office. I came here, I spoke with the International Admission Council, and they were like, you are perfectly qualified. They looked at my transcript and everything. And honestly speaking, data science is not something like, it's not rocket science, okay? It's not rocket science. You study database fundamentals over here as your core course, which we did in our second year, I believe, which was our 4th semester, database management structures. We studied those. Yes, you will be doing a lot of Python over here instead of C. So I'll say if you even study business analytics, I mean, I sit in the same lab with students from Master of Business Analytics and Master of Business Information System, and myself, all of us studying the same thing. So over here, the courses are a little bit different. But yes, as true as it is that I applied to Master of Data Science at La Trobe, at UTS, at Deakin, at RMIT, as well as Macquarie, I was told to enroll in business analytics by La Trobe. As for you students, I suggest don't apply to Deakin if you are from BTM or IUT, because again, over here, they value the university and the weight of the university. So they don't consider IUT as a BBA program or a bachelor's program. They will consider your course as an advanced diploma. So just don't waste your time on Deakin. Go for other universities. As for RMIT, they will ask for individual marks. Even if you provide your transcript, they will ask for how much marks did you get in each course. So be well informed and talk to an agent. I will always suggest that, because in Australia, agents don't take money. Certified agents don't take money. You don't have to pay anything to agents. So reach out to them. Let's move on. Adiba rising up, Abi rising up. Shita, we are really going down. Double points. What type of training do I give to the AI? You just have to guess one. There are multiple answers over here. I think I need one more answer. One more person needs to answer this. Okay. No, we don't do any image rendering. At least my client does not require that. RLHF is what we call reinforcement learning through human feedback. What I can give you is a generalized idea. I cannot tell you like in details of what I do. So over here, you ask the model, think of it like think of ChatGPT if it gives you much more context. During its early days, ChatGPT used to spit out nonsense like 2 plus 2 is 5. It was easily gullible. We try to make sure that the model is not. How to talk to humans without being a robot. That is very true. That is what we do. That is mainly what we do, even through our LHF process and this ORCS process. I can't tell you much. I cannot tell you much about this ORCS process because the ORCS process is basically like something that I would be giving out. Like if I tell you about the orchestration process, it's basically me telling you what I do. But think of it something as companies will be able to, uh, use in the long run. Something designed for businesses. Uh, it's not like a BI tool, but it's a greater version of a BI tool. Think of it like that. But again, in orchestrations or orgs, we basically ask the model to like, how should I put this? We basically ask the model to contact with different types of BI tools. That's it. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I hope that was clear. Ishtiaq and Tahmid on the board. Nice going, guys. How? Oh, don't overthink this, please. Don't overthink this. Also, if you love this show, I love you guys. The answer is neither of them required a recommendation letter. So in Australia, you really don't have to stress over a recommendation letter. What you do have to stress over is what like experiences that you can provide and how much proof that you can provide to make your portfolio heavy. They don't care what your teachers tell you about how nice you were and what kind of sweet things they told you about. They need a written proof that uh, you have certain job qualification, or if you like worked something like, even if you have volunteering experience, try to keep it as a proof. All those of like all of you who did like internship, don't throw away your internship certificates. Try to keep them. Just keep a letter. Just keep a letter that will prove two things: your duration of work, the type of work that you did, whether it was full-time or part-time, and most importantly, your salary. And that's it. You don't need to show anything else, but if you do show an experience, you need to show that there was an inflow of money in your bank account to support the document that you just provided to prove your experience. So that is very necessary over here in Australia for master's students. But as for PhD candidates, that's totally different. For PhD candidates, you will need a letter of recommendation. And no, the company did not need a recommendation letter. Let's move on. Oh, Adiba is actually maintaining a good streak. Second last, is it better to study data science or business analytics? This one might be a little bit tricky for everyone. Yes, number three is correct. And that is French for everyone has a different taste. And honestly, I love the two of you who said you only live once because, yes, you only live once. You can run wild sometimes. It's totally fine. I mean, who's going to stop you? And business analytics is something which is more decision oriented, if I may. Okay. Uh, so when I talk about business analytics, I think of it like this, that you are getting in depth into data structures and data engineering and understanding all of those only to come up with a more informed decision, to have a much more sophisticated information based on the data that you have acquired and analyzed. Data science, on the other hand, is for anyone who loves numbers. Honestly, for anyone who loves numbers. If you have some sort of an alpha motive in your life where you want to manipulate something with data, go for data science. I'm not going to say much because if you notice the gift that I put in, it will fall over there. And honestly, like let's keep this much more let's keep this conversation much more against all of those things. But yes, if it floats your boat, then go for it. Because if you feel like that you don't want to have like you don't want to be in a situation where you are just completely thrown off from business and you're not thinking about decision making, you're not thinking about all those comfort zones that you were there in your 4 years, then like if you feel like you don't want to be out of those, go for business analytics. That will be great for you because it will give you a good knowledge of data, how data works, how to manipulate it, how to analyze it, how to render it, and all those nice and beautiful things that makes you feel like an intellectual. You'll be able to do that with the sophistication and eloquence of being in the business field. But if you feel like that you have some sort of ulterior motive, go for data science. I mean, who's stopping you? Ahmed rose up. But what about the rest of you? You guys are still there. Last question. Last question. Okay, this could be motivation. So this is the latest for data engineers. This is the latest, and don't overthink this. Read the question correctly. No, it's not 35,000. 35,000 per year. First of all of these are in US dollars, and 30 to 35,000 are for people who train AI like me per annum. So that's not for anyone who's a data engineer. A data engineer salary is much higher. No, it's not 65,000. 65,000 is for business analysts and not data engineers. The base salary is 95,000 currently at Silicon Valley, as far as I know. But the highest will go to 104 in the US, and in Silicon Valley it will go much higher, much higher. And this data is actually a few days old. So the demand for data engineers, data architects, and basically anyone who works with data and data scientists are just shooting up through the sky. So if you want to feel like, no, I still want to be in the business field, business analyst is a good role, but you can still be a business analyst if you study data science. If you have strong ways of business understanding and business modeling, like if you understand, did everything that you studied in BTM, or if you did some sort of like your own personal studies that made your knowledge of business much more stronger, then I think you can like shoot for that data science studies, and that would be like an added skill. And if you have the both of the two worlds, if you have the goodness of the like both worlds, this not only adds value to your skill sets, but also puts you in a very high demand. So like I think instead of taking my words for it, go home, do the research, and like make sure that you're thorough with what you want to do. And definitely, if you want to be in a saturated, competitive job market where you want to be challenged every single day, I will not suggest Australia. I'll suggest US. That's like my personal opinion. Because US job market is really saturated and really highly competitive compared to here. The opportunity here is really great, but over there, if you are passionate enough and if you have like confidence, not overconfidence, if you have like confidence, like I will be able to do it, go for US. So with that, the Kahoot ends, but let's see who won. So Muktasim is in third place, Shitab second place, and drum rolls, first place at Abida. Oh, I said Adiba, sorry. And fourth is Tahmid, and fifth is Ishtiyaq. With that, our Kahoot ends. Thank you all for stopping by.